welcome to the Krazecast, the podcast run by the fans for the fans that brings close to the action. My name is Roxy, and today I'm joined by my fellow host, Jay.
Hello.
And our podcast editor, Robin.
Hello.
Hello. To keep up with all our content, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at CrazeMag, and YouTube, The Craze. And if you're watching this on YouTube, before we begin, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch our next episode, and hit that bell for notifications for when we upload new videos.
Let's do lawsuits.
Do you have anything?
Let's do lawsuits.
Okay. What kind of lawsuits are we going to be talking about? What should we talk about?
Well,
There's been a really spicy one recently.
There has. I've been so out of K-pop because I've been
Are we talking about Momoland?
No, I was talking about Omega X.
Oh, okay, yeah. Our babies. Dude, honestly, I'm so glad that they're finally like getting that away from that company.
You know, I actually think that one was worse than even the BAP one.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, wasn't sexual harassment involved also in the allegations? God, Jesus Christ, that's insane to me. It's just like, and it's so weird because, like, you don't see often sexual harassment cases where the aggressor is a woman.
Yeah.
So the CEO was like, God, just the thought of it is disgusting. They're like children too, aren't they? Aren't they pretty young?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're fairly young. Yeah.
Ugh. Oh God. Why did anybody let that happen?
Corrupt people.
True.
Well, because I know her husband was on the board. Why was he not, like, even in the background? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Corrupt people for the money.
Yeah.
Trying to like, isn't there like well, I don't know if there's any true factual basis to this, but like, I'm not saying this company, you know what, let me backtrack. I don't want to get a lawsuit. Never mind. I'm not gonna say anything. Never mind.
What lawsuit? We have free speech.
We're
not in Korea. They can't do anything to us.
True. Well,
you want me to say some shit? I'll say some shit. TS Entertainment is trash. They were stealing money from their idols, and they got shut down because they got sued out their ass, and they're the worst. What are you gonna do? Get me for slander for a company that doesn't exist anymore?
Yeah. The group Tracing, this is the group that came after BAP. Like, some of their members are finally like I saw some news about them come out. Like, you know,
yeah, very recently.
Yeah, like they're finally like something's happening where it's, you know, benefiting them now after they left TS, and that I guess their particular lawsuits are working well, which is good for them. I mean,
theirs were more intense than the BAP one because the like focus of the BAP lawsuit is that they weren't getting paid, right? And being overworked. But with Tracing, they actually had allegations of assault or like abuse. There was like I remember reading about it. One of the members like said that a manager like threw a chair at them. There was like shit like that. So it got more intense than what BAP's was. But yeah, the overworking thing is a very interesting topic because it kind of goes back to the slave contracts, and that I think that was really brought to the forefront with TVXQ, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was like, if you're a newer K-pop fan and you don't know about this lawsuit, history lesson, my God, it is still one of the biggest lawsuits that came out of K-pop. And the three who left are kind of basically mostly blacklisted from main Korean outlets and stuff. Like, they're still doing activities in here and there, but like, you'll never see them on like Music Bank or Music Core.
Well, two of them. I don't even think JYJ exists anymore.
Well, one of them
is wasn't he wrapped up? Was he like in the Burning Sun scandal? Or did it all happen at the same time as the Burning Sun scandal?
I thought it was before.
It was like around that time frame because a lot of shit hit the fan at the same time.
Because it was like Burning Sun and then the Nth Room.
Yeah.
Right after one another.
Yeah. It was in that time period, and it's just like, ooh, we don't talk about this one.
I think the other two are fine though. I think
The other two are fine.
they're having a decent time. Maybe not a good time, because the fact that it's been 10 plus years and SM is still has them blacklisted.
Like,
whoever runs that company holds grudges, dude.
Like, they can still promote in Korea. Like, they're doing activities in Korea. It's just like I said, you won't see them in super mainstream channels. Like
super mainstream entertainment.
Yeah, like what you're used to. So
I
it's crazy.
have so many questions because this happened before I was around. But like, what is it like to be Changmin and Yoonho in this whole situation? That's what I want to know, because what made them decide not to have an issue when the others had an issue?
That's a good question, right? Just to
because
get into
assuming
their mindset.
They're all being overworked, why did they decide that they didn't want to fuck with that and just deal with it? That's what always has made me so curious. Like, I wish I could have a conversation about this, because like, unless those three were lying, which I don't know, I have a hard time believing that somebody would do that and then have their entire career ruined if it were false.
Like, you asking that question, the way I automatically think is like, on how right now they're debuting 15-year-olds and stuff like that, and that they'll do anything to debut. And I think in that case with them, if it was their dream since they were younger, they'll just put, like, they were the ones that were like, okay, I'll just put up with it. And I feel like they could have probably maybe predicted what would have happened if they went against it, because we all know how big SM is in Korea. So
they were the biggest boy group at the time.
Exactly. So that's immediately what came to my mind, because you remember, like, what were you doing at 15? Like, it was your dream. And like, I guess with like TVXQ, they kind of saw how successful they were together, and with it being their dream, they were just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna suck it up, because some people do. And that's why when we don't know as a fan, like, if there's anything going on behind the scenes until people leave or until there's a lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's immediately what comes to mind for me.
And we just don't know what's in their individual contracts, because people have to, like, it's not like here in America, especially when it came to like that, like the band scene, where you're usually signing the whole band, but in K-pop, you're signing individual people, and you're just making the group from there.
Right.
You sign the individual people, and then you make the group, and then there's another signing right after they make the group, and then you have that 7-year contract. And that is why you see so many people either leave the group or disband after the 7 years.
Wasn't the 7-year thing a result of the TVXQ lawsuit?
I believe TVXQ's was 13.
Right. So, but there was a consensus after that, I guess, that was too long. So they did shorten the contracts. But I mean, if you ask me, fucking 7 years is still too long when you're like, what? Even if you're 18.
Because like, your interest changes, time goes on. So like, let's say you sign at 15, you debut at 16. 7 years, you're 23. Maybe you don't want to do it anymore, dude.
Right. Like, if I had signed a contract for like my first job that was like 7 years long, 2 years into it, I would want to like stab myself in the head. Like, I can't imagine doing something for that long.
Yeah, it's like,
and if you hated it too.
Yeah.
Right.
People's interests change. Like, for me, like, the first person that I think of when it comes to like wanting out is Sunghoon, I believe, from 100%, because 100% used to be 7 members, right? And so I think his name was Sunghoon. It's been so long since I've said his name, so I can't remember specifically his name. But 3 years in, he was like, I'm done, and he left because like he didn't want to be an idol anymore, because his interest changed. He was like, I'm over it.
Yeah. Like, sometimes you just fall out of love from what, like, you thought this is what you wanted to do. You got a taste for it, and it's like, no, don't want that for me.
Especially when you're young, because like, you still you think you know something, you think you want something, and then you do it, it turns out not to like meet all of your expectations and dreams, and you're like, oh wait, maybe I don't want to do this.
And it also could be a factor of what's going on behind the scenes that no one knows about.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like, Korea, man, they put up a front in everything. It is so hard to have any idea what the fuck is going on ever, honestly.
Couldn't you also just say that for all celebrities in general?
Yeah, I mean, that's fair because, like, that's why I think celebrity itself can be kind of shitty because it's like you don't actually really see a real person. You see a persona that they put on. And that's why, like, I've felt that a lot too, because, like, when I was younger, I was super into when YouTubers were up and coming, back before that was like a thing people wanted to be. It was just like when YouTube first started and people were just being people, you get attached to that. But then, in the last 10 years or so, so much shit has come out about some of these people that I used to, enjoy. And you're like, God damn, you don't actually know them at all. Like, you feel like you do in the avenue of YouTube, right? But you don't know anything.
That's literally the pinnacle of a parasocial relationship.
Exactly. And I feel like we didn't get so attached to parasocial relationships before social media. Because, like, you'd see a celebrity on TV or in movies, and it's like, it's not the same as like what feels like that direct thing. And that's what K-pop makes all their money off of.
Yeah.
And,
because you have that like before, like with like, TV, you had to wait for a program to come on, right? You had to either that or record it, and recording on a VHS tape, dude. Come on. But like,
there are some people who are listening to this that don't even know what that is.
Jesus.
But like, like with K-pop now, it's like you have that direct content at your grasp at any time. And so that's what creates a parasocial relationship, because you can consume it at one time, and that is what binge watching causes, is more than half the time parasocial relationships. Can you tell that I majored in this? So yeah, it's like the internet definitely created parasocial relationship. But I think I wanted to ask a question. What was y'all's most memorable lawsuit being a K-pop fan?
Good question.
Because I have two that immediately come to mind for me.
I mean, of course, me being the BAP bias here,
TS,
that one, that one, of course. But I'm trying to think of not that example. What?
When I first got into K-pop, I was really into EXO, but it was like after all that shit happened.
Oh, you're right. I was there when it was happening.
But like hearing about it was like so freaking wild to me. Because like the first EXO I was introduced to was like, how many of them were there?
Was it the 9
13,
or the 10?
12.
12?
Yeah.
This was after.
Who left first? Chris?
Yeah. Chris.
So I was there. I was there when Tao left. Okay, so Call Me Baby was the first comeback I saw, and Tao was in that. But then they were like, "Oh, he's injured, so he's not participating." And then like 2 months later, they're like, "Oh, he's left," and I got like really emotional. So I would say
Chris, Tao, then Luhan.
No, it was Chris, Luhan, and then Tao.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I think Luhan was only a few months after Chris left.
But like, look at Luhan though. Luhan is thriving right now.
Although isn't he like engaged? He's engaged to the girl that he was in the drama with that I watched.
Yeah.
I think people got mad about that though. Like, I think he's going through a thing because of you know how it be.
Right.
Because once again, parasocial relationship.
Right. Man's old enough to get married. Jesus Christ.
They don't want anything that they can't have.
Yeah. Which makes me sad, thinking about that makes me sad. Well, we don't talk about Chris anymore. I have happily let go of that bias a long time ago, because he used to be my EXO bias. And then he left. And I was just like, I'm still going to support Chris. Not anymore. Hell no.
Dude, can we talk? I just want to talk real quick about Chen. I was so scared when Chen announced all of his stuff.
Same.
I was terrified because I was like, what is SM going to do? Because I already knew XOLs were going to, do their thing.
Some hoes were sitting outside protesting the SM building. I was like, girl, please. Like,
my friend sent me a video. She was like, you like Chen, right? I was like, yeah. She goes, oh, I just walked by SM today and this is what happened. I was like,
I commend him though. I really do, because he came out with his whole chest and was like, I'm going to be a father and I'm getting married. I don't remember what the order was.
No, he came out with his whole chest saying, I'm been hoeing around. I've been hoeing around, got a girl pregnant, we get married. Shit.
But But he
Sorry,
has
that's not what
2
happened.
kids.
XOLs don't come. XOLs, that's not what happened. I'm just making a joke.
Yes. No, but seriously, he's like, I met a girl. I really like her. We're having kids, and now they have 2, right?
And it's
Oh,
just so
stop.
funny because like it was when he was in the military. So you know those days off, he was getting down, dude.
Hey, good for
Bro,
you. Good
I
for
cannot
you.
blame him,
As-
dude. Do you know how freaking boring it is to be part of the military that doesn't do anything?
True.
Or it's just like I have downtime. Like it's it's a day where I don't have a lot going for me. You know?
Have they
bored.
managed to keep her identity secret so far?
Yes. Yes.
Thank God. I can't imagine being like a normal person that like falls in love with an idol and then has to deal with the repercussions of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can't. See, this
And,
is
like-
why like people have this thing where they're like, I want to date an idol. No, you do not. You do not want to be the
It's
target
so
of that.
stressful because like you never know who's following you. You never know if dispatch is around because you know dispatch be doing.
They do some
They be doing the most.
shit.
They be
do
doing the most.
but they also get paid off. So
Yeah,
like
they
if
do.
they were, I don't know if that's more slimy or not. Like,
If the company wants to pay him off, then so be it. At my point, like in my point of view, company wants to pay it off, sure, whatever.